Hello everyone and welcome to my quick 2027 Schleich horses. They recently reviewed the pictures or released the pictures of these horses, and I'm just going to go through and talk about my opinion, what I like, what I dislike, and go from there. So the first horse that I saw was this Dualman Wild Horse Gelding. This horse I was like really excited for when I saw it blurry because I thought, oh, it's an Appaloosa. I'm super excited. Then as I found an unblurry picture, I saw that it was a little bit more of a roaning dark bay or a brown horse. I really like the color shading on its mane and tail. I'm not a super fan of the roaning, but it does look like a snowflake Appaloosa, so I will like that. And, I think I'd like to see him in real life. His hooves are a little bland. They're just a similar color of plain color. And his pose is really cute, but not quite conformationally correct for a horse, because that back left leg looks to be on the ground, even though that one should be up in the air. I do like how his ear is slightly turned to the right and his left ear is a little bit forward, and he's looking forward. So I probably would give him a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10, just because he's not my favorite, kind of wondering what his hindquarters are doing and that back left leg are doing. And the color's a little wonky, but also really cool looking. So overall, just a average horse that I'd be interested in seeing and maybe changing my opinion on. The next horse is one of my favorite breeds, and it's the quarter horse mare. This one is not my favorite. The mold itself just seems kind of wonky. The hooves are very tiny, which, mind you, some of the halter lines of the quarter horse do have tiny hooves. I just don't personally like the tiny hooves. Tail's a little weird because it's rounded at the end. It should either be cut off flat for showing or maybe a little more natural looking. I do like the mane, and her color is either a red roan or a red dun. We don't know without a dun stripe. We can't see her back, so I'm not certain. She does not have dun leg markings, so I'm guessing red roan. And then she does have a badger face marking, which means it's got the white with a little bit of dark in the center, the two white lines, and dark in the center. I do also hate and like the hammer size head, so big jaws. A lot of quarter horses have those big jaws, which, I mean, depending on what angle we're looking at, maybe it's a wonky angle, but overall she's not my favorite. I'll probably give her a 4.5 or a 5 on my out of 10 scale, just because she ain't my favorite. I probably am not going to buy her. Much as I actually do, but overall she's not my favorite. Next horse is the quarter horse gelding. This one's a little bit more of my favorite. Still does have the hoof problem with the hooves being really, really tiny. The color is a little odd because it's either a dun or a buckskin, or maybe it's a roan dun. It's just super duper light in body and then darker on the shoulder and head, which is typical of a roan or maybe a dun, but not necessarily a buckskin. So hopefully it's got a dun stripe on there. Do like the darker legs, hate the tiny hooves, hate the bland hooves. There's not much coloring to it. Do love the face marking, and I love his face. His face is completely adorable. And then depending on the angle, maybe his booty looks a little bit bigger in person. But I would like to see that big old quarter horse booty. And right in this picture, it doesn't look like a big old quarter horse booty. I'd probably give him a 6 out of 10, in my opinion, because he just ain't my favorite. He doesn't please me other than his face. If you cut off the rest of his body, I would be happy with his face. Next horse is the Percheron foal. This is not my favorite at all. I think it's a really cute concept. I like that they tried to do a gray foal, though foals usually don't look as gray. I will say that. A lot of gray horses start off solid black, solid brown, solid chestnut, a darker color with the gray circles around the eyes. I do like that they have or trying to do a shedding foal. So it's an older foal, but not quite yearling, it looks like. Maybe it's a yearling, maybe not. But I do not like how rounded the edges are on the shedding fur. It would look a little more patchy in real life. I do like how it's darker, because it would be a darker foal shedding to light because it's a gray. I do not like the color of its hooves. I wish its hooves were also bigger, and I am curious to see what its tail is doing. Overall, though, I think it's a cute mold, which is not my favorite. I'd probably give it a 5.5 out of 10, which I might change depending on what he looks like in person. Next horse is labeled an Equestrian Allstars. There's 3 of them like that, so I'm not sure if that's the new brand, but this one is Kenzie and Sasu. I love the color. This is a cremello color. It's finally we get a double cream. This horse has blue eyes, pink nose. Love the hooves. The hooves are really pretty colored. I like the shading. Only thing I'm a little curious about is what that tail's doing in the back end. We can't really see it. Is it tucked under? It just looks like those back legs and the back flank and booty. Not to say the word booty, but the back end of the horse just looks tinier than the front end of the horse. So conformational, I don't know. It doesn't seem quite right. I do not like how the mane is flying behind it, and then the tail is flying behind, but then the mane is kind of going all over the place. But he could be flinging his head, and that would be causing the mane to go up instead of back. That just kind of makes me a little bit, this doesn't seem quite right. But overall good. I like the color. This is one of the molds that I might actually get. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. With the stipulation of what that back tail and back end is doing. Because I hate tiny back ends. The powerhouse of the horse is in the back end. So next one in the Equestrian All-Stars is Mahilda. Is that Mahilda? I don't know. And Sligo. And this is done on the 2018-2019 Knapstrapper mold. My least favorite Schleich horse mold. So I have to be like, I don't like its mold. I'm not going to go too much into it other than it's just a very wonky mold. Tail is very wonky. I do love the color, and I love that they have two different colored hooves representing back white feet and then darker front feet. And I love the flea bit and gray across the body. Overall, that is just so cute. And I'd love to see him in picture. So this is one I'm curious about, or picture. See him in person. I'm probably not going to buy him because this mold is not my favorite in any way. But it is a really cute concept. And I think he'll be cute for playing with, and I think a lot of people will like him. The last one in the Equestrian All-Stars is Amberley and Lacey. And I think this is a really unique concept. I love this mold. This is one of the molds of the newer horses that I actually like. And it originally was the paint horse mare. And then it's been redone a couple times, but I like it because it's more of a gating mold. Now this one I really like because it's palomino. It's a very nice shading across it. I like the colors of the hooves. I like the colors across the body. I like the unique branding on its shoulder. I don't know what the 65 means. Now the cheek, I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. Maybe someone in the comments can tell me. But it looks like an Indian marking or Native American marking, I apologize. Or just like a cut or something. But my friend was wondering if it possibly could be representing a rescue horse. So as we learn more about these horses, maybe we'll find out why it's got a 65 and then a mark on its cheek. And maybe we'll find out what's on the other side. Maybe it's got more markings on the other side. Overall, this one, I really like the color. I might actually get this one when it comes out, depending on what it looks like in person. My favorite, hands down, my favorite. And I just realized I forgot to grade the other three. I'd probably give them all, well, the first one, the Cremello, probably I did say an 8, didn't I? And then the other two, I'd probably give them a 6.5. But back to my favorite, sorry, I clapped. The American Standardbred Stallion. He is gorgeous, hands down, 100 out of 10. I'm going to get like 10 gazillion of him. Not really, but I'm going to get a couple to repaint and then one for my shelf. Love the mold. Great color, super duper bay color. Like the white on the legs. I hope they don't make the white too white or too blotchy or chunky. What I mean by that is I hope there's some shading on that white and the white hooves. Looks like there's going to be some shading on the gray hooves, and it looks like some great shading across the body. Now, I like the shading on the nose. The pink nose is adorable. I like the white face marking. I like the ears going back. I like the mold itself. Oh my gosh, I can't stop saying stuff a lot about it. But overall, 100 out of 10, my favorite mold. This is what I am looking forward to finding in store, and I hope I can find it. This one is not my favorite. Good concept. Not my favorite. Love the color. At least the shading of the gray or the main part of the color. Do not like the black dots, and I do not like the blotchy white. That is not my favorite. I hope it's a little less blotchy, maybe a little more shading on there, but overall, I think this one would have been better without the black dots and without the blanket Appaloosa color. Mold itself is not my favorite from this angle, but I hold out to possibly looking better when it's in person. And I like this stallion. I like that they did an Appaloosa, and it's really, really cute. So overall, not my favorite, but it could be better in person. Right now, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 because it's just not my favorite. This one is my second favorite from this year, the Appaloosa Mare. I am not a fan of the Leopard Appaloosa colors, but I do like the fact that they did Leopard Appaloosa with color shading on the body. What I mean by that is it's not just spots on white. It's literally got darker shading across that body that makes it look like an Appaloosa. I also love the mold because she is in the walking stance and she's got her head up. I like that her mane is shorter, and I like how her tail is shorter, which Appaloosas tend to have shorter manes and tails. They just don't grow a lot of them. I like that they put striped hooves on her. It's hard to tell in the picture, but the hooves are striped. I am curious to see how dark those legs are going to be in person, but overall I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10 or maybe even an 8.5 out of 10 on this mold in horse. This one's another one of my favorites, and it's not necessarily because of the mold or because of the color. It's because of the breed. I like that they found a very unique breed to do, and they did it very well and very correct. So spotted saddle horses are a type of Tennessee Walker horse, and Tennessee Walker horses actually show with those braids in their mane. And I'm actually, if they did it right, she should have another braid, but I'm not certain you can see it on this side. She is also in a 4-beat rack of a gait. So spotted saddle horses, like Tennessee Walkers, like Rocky Mountain horses, like Pasafinas, are gaited breeds. Now, unlike Pasafinas, unlike Tennessee Walkers, well, actually, excuse me, unlike Rockies, they do tend to have a different gait. Her gait, looking at this, is actually more of a Missouri Foxtrotter gait or a running walk, which we can't tell the difference because she isn't moving, but it is a gait and represents this breed very, very well. Color-wise, perfect on the breed. I love the color. This is one that I'm going to be very curious to get. I don't like the hooves much, and hopefully the whites are not as white and a little more natural color. I'd like to see the other side of her, but I'm going to give her an 8 out of 10 also. Really, really cute. Foal, I love that they did a gaited horse foal. I don't love this foal. She just kind of looks chunky, kind of blurred on those muscles, not very defined. Color is kind of blotchy and just kind of goes from, that brown to white really quick. Tail is really nice. Pink nose is really nice. I love the pose. I love that it's gaiting, but like I said, it's just kind of fuzzy on the definition of the muscles. So I'm curious to see this one in person, but I'm probably going to give it like a 6 out of 10 just because it's a gaited horse. If it wasn't a gaited horse, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10. But overall, I'm curious to see this one. I'm curious to see it next to the previous horse and see how cute those two would be together. And I wish they had a stallion because that would be nice to have a whole family of these guys. So last but not least of the single horses is the curly horse mare. We've been wanting this since 2014. They had a curly horse in 2014 or 13, and she was really cute. Odd conformation, but really cute. I like that they're coming back to the curly horse. Conformation might be a little wonky, but curly horses tend to come in different styles, so she could represent a different side of the curly horse, whether the new or the old or a combination of each. There's no set rhyme or reason to a curly horse conformation. They can look like an Arabian, they can look like a quarter horse, they can look like skinny mini or like look chunky. It just depends on the line. I do not like that she's got a sunflower in her mane. I hope there's no more on the other side. I'm going to be very, very sad if that happens. I like my horses a little more natural. I do understand why they do it because young girls really like that and think it's cute. Me as a young girl did not. Color-wise, really cute. She's a seal bay. I like the shading. I am very curious to see her in person. And I want to see how curly she is in person. So overall, really cool. Now, I will say curly horses usually don't have a long mane and tail, but it depends on your line again. Your old style tend to lose that mane and tail in the summer. And the younger style, the newer style tends to have a little bit longer mane. But that depends on your line. overall, she's really cute. Now, I think it's funny that they're using this mold again in Sophia's Fashion Creation. This is the 2008 Hanoverian mold, and I like the color of this guy. I wonder what the tan mane and tail, but I'd love to see what's underneath that blanket, and if he's dappled, ooh, that'd be so cool. Overall, super cute, and I like that they're coming out with a cute little set. And I know I didn't grade the curly horse mare, but I'd probably give her a 7 out of 10. This one I'm not going to grade because it's kind of hard to see the horse. This one is Tori's Adventure. They're coming with a 2014 Trakehner mare. She was originally in Bay, and then they kind of discontinued her. She's a wonky mold, though, so not my favorite. Like the color, though, and I like the concept of the set. Really, really cute. Now, this set's really cool, too. I can't, for life of me, I think the bay in the back is a new mold, and it looks like a Hanoverian. Oh, it looks so cute. The horse in the front I have seen before, and I hate this color. It's more like a yellow color. Like, girl, clean your horse before you go on a tournament riding event. Overall, I think it's another cute set. They keep coming out with these tournament sets, which have the jumping sets and like ribbons and stuff like that. But how many shows can we actually go to? I do like how they have a stall included in the set this time, but overall, I wish they would just sell these horses separate and then maybe sell the jumps separate so we could all like buy a whole bunch of jumps and not worry about getting fences. Or maybe sell the fences separate and let us buy some fences for our sets. And then we could buy whatever we want and make our own barns out of it. And last but not least, this one I almost missed when I was going through the pictures. And I was like, ew, it's a blue horse. But this is the Gelato or Gelato, I don't know, pastel horse. And he's really cool. I like his frosty look to him. He's got kind of a mint green blue color going on. I wonder if he's going to be kind of clear wear, which is a term that you hear in model horses where they're kind of see-through. I think he's going to be cool. I'd like to see him in person. He might be one that I get. I know somebody that's going to really, really like him. And again, I probably said that, and she will not really, really like him. But she knows if I'm talking about her. This seems to be her favorite color and favorite mold, so she might have to get him. So, overall, I think he's really cute. So thank you guys for watching. This has kind of been a different video for me, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know below, and like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't like it, please let me know also. I need to get back to making videos, but it's been so warm out, at least recently, that I don't want to be inside making videos. The only reason I'm making videos today, and you might have heard it while I was talking, is we have a thunderstorm going on. So, can't really go out and ride my horses right now. Though I should go check in on them. So, I'm going to go check in on my horses. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys later.